All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sports Dom coming back with another video, and this is my Arizona Diamondbacks at New York Mets series recap. Sorry, I haven't been doing the previews and recaps. I've been busy, but the Arizona Diamondbacks are undefeated in the month of June, 2-0, as they take games 3 and 4 from the New York Mets. They had a very difficult May. They didn't win very much in May. Let's see here. They only won, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 games in May, and they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 games in the month of May, and they lost the first 2 to the New York Mets in this series on May 30th and 31st, but they won on June 1st and 2nd, where they won and split the series with the New York Mets. So let's recap this series. Game 1. This was game 1, which the New York Mets won. I believe that was it was 3-2 in a game we should have had, but let's recap this. It was a one-score game. The Diamondbacks scored 2 in the third, 2 in the third, and that was it in this ball game in Game 1. The Mets scored 1 in the third, 1 in the seventh, and 1 in the eighth. They had 3 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors, did the Mets. The Diamondbacks, 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. In the top of the third, Ketel Marte doubled his 13th double of the season on a sharp line drive to right fielder Starling Marte. Gabriel Moreno scored, Corbin Carroll scored, and it was a 2-run double, and that was all the Diamondbacks scoring. Then in the bottom of the third, Francisco Lindor hit a solo home run, his 9th of the season on a fly ball to left center field, and it's 2-1 Diamondbacks. Then in the bottom of the fourth, Brett Beatty grounded into a double play. Kevin Newman to first baseman. Christian Walker, Mark Vientos out at second. Brett Beatty out at first. Okay, so that wasn't a run they're showing. The bottom of the seventh, Francisco Lindor singled on a ground ball to right fielder Pavin Smith. Pete Alonso scored, and it's a 2-2 ball game. And then J.D. Martinez won the game for the New York Mets. He homered, his 4th home run of the season on a fly ball to center field, and 3-2 is your ball game. Game 1, the New York Mets get the win and lead the series 1-0. Danny Young got the win for the New York Mets. He's 2-0. And it shows he has no ERA. Ryan Thompson got the loss. He's 2-2 with a 1.14 ERA, and Garrett got the save for the New York Mets. In this game, Zach Gallen got the start. That's the game Zach Gallen got hurt. He only went like 2/3 of an inning and got hurt. So Corbin Carroll had 3 at-bats. He had 1 run, no hits, no RBIs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, a .191 average, and a .562 OPS. Ketel Marte had 4 at-bats. He had no runs, 1 hit, 2 RBIs, no walks, no strikeouts, a .265 average, and a .768 OPS. Jock Peterson had 4 at-bats. 2 at bats. He had no runs, no hits, no RBIs, no walks, no strikeouts, a .302 average, and a .928 OPS. Randall Grichuk came in as the pinch hitter for the DH man. He had 1 at bat. He had no runs, no hits, no RBIs, no walks, 1 strikeout, has a .272 average, and a .690 OPS. Christian Walker had 2 at bats. He had no runs, no hits, no RBIs, 2 walks, no strikeouts, a .264 average, and a .816 OPS. Blaze Alexander came in as a pinch runner for Christian Walker. He had no at bats. He had no runs, no hits, no RBIs, no walks, no strikeouts, a .263 average, and a .740 OPS. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. had 4 at bats. He had no runs, no 1 hit, no RBIs, no walks, no strikeouts, a .237 average, and a .648 OPS. Pavin Smith had 4 at bats. He had no runs, 1 hit, no RBIs, no walks, 1 strikeout, has a .239 average, and a .678 OPS. Eugenio Suarez. He had 3 at bats. He had no runs, no hits, no RBIs, no walks, 1 strikeout, has a .210 average, and a .583 OPS. Jake McCarthy came in as a pinch hitter. He had 1 at bat. He had no runs, no hits, no RBIs, no walks, no strikeouts, has a .281 average, and a .747 OPS. Gabriel Moreno had 3 at bats. He had 1 run, 1 hit, no RBIs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, a .237 average, and a .650 OPS. And then Kevin Newman. Hello, Newman. He had 3 at bats. He had no runs, no hits, no RBIs, no walks, 1 strikeout, has a .250 average, and a .644 OPS. So the Diamondbacks had 30 at bats. They had 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 RBIs, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. Zach Gallen went 0.0 innings, allowed 1 hit, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, no strikeouts, no home runs, and has a 3.12 ERA. Bryce Jarvis went 1 inning, allowed no hits, no runs, no earned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, no home runs, and has a 3.52 ERA. Hughes came in and went 1 2/3 innings, allowed 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 1 home run, and has a 6.43 ERA. Justin Martinez went 3 innings, allowed 3 hits, no runs, no earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, no home runs, and has a 0.48 ERA. Joe Mantiply went 2/3 of an inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, no walks, 1 strikeout, no home runs, and has a 4.35 ERA. Ryan Thompson went 1 inning, allowed 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, no walks, no strikeouts, 1 home run, and has a 1.14 ERA. Kevin Ginkel went 2/3 of an inning, allowed no hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, 1 strikeout, no home runs, and has a 4.29 ERA. So totals, the Diamondbacks pitchers, they pitched 8 innings, allowed 9 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 2 home runs in Game 1. And then, in Game 2, the New York Mets also win that one. That was your 10-9 win for the New York Mets. The Diamondbacks scored 3 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the sixth, and 4 in the ninth. The Mets scored 4 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the fourth, 2 in the sixth. The Diamondbacks in Game 2 had 9 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors. The Mets had 10 runs, 14 hits, 2 errors. The win went to Luis Severino, former Yankee. He was 3-2 with a 3.52 ERA. The loss to Jordan Montgomery. He's 3-3 with a 5.48 ERA. A lot of scoring to cover here. 19 runs. So bear with me. In the top of the first, Jock Peterson singled on a sharp line drive to right fielder Starling Marte. Corbin Carroll scored. Moved Ketel Marte to third, and it's 1-0 Diamondbacks. Then Lourdes Gurriel Jr. hit an RBI single on a ground ball to left fielder Brandon Nimmo. Ketel Marte scored. Jock Peterson to third, 2-0 Diamondbacks. And then Jake McCarthy Uh, Grounded into a force-out second baseman Jose Iglesias. To shortstop Francisco Lindor. Jock Peterson scored. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. out at second, and it's 3-0 Diamondbacks. Then in the bottom of the first, Starling Marte tripled his first of the season on a sharp line drive to center fielder Corbin Carroll. Francisco Lindor scored. Brandon Nimmo scored. J.D. Martinez scored, and it's 3-3. Mark Vientos singled on a ground ball to third baseman Eugenio Suarez. Starling Marte scores, and it's 4-3 Smets. In the bottom of the second, Francisco Lindor, an RBI double, his 13th of the season on a sharp line drive to right fielder Jake McCarthy. Thomas Nido scored, and it's 5-3 New York Mets. And then in the top of the third, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. grounded into a force-out third baseman Mark Vientos to second baseman Jose Iglesias. Ketel Marte scored. Christian Walker out at second. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. advances to second on a throwing error by second baseman Jose Iglesias. 5-4 Mets. Pete Alonso hit an RBI double, his 13th of the season on a sharp line drive to left fielder Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Tomas Nido scored, and it's 6-4 Mets. Starling Marte singled on a sharp line drive to left fielder Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Pete Alonso scored, moved J.D. Martinez to second, and it's 7-4 New York. Mark Vientos singled on a ground ball to left fielder Lourdes Gurriel Jr. J.D. Martinez scored, moved Starling Marte to third, and it's 8-4 New York. And then Eugenio Suarez hit a solo home run, his 4th of the season, on a fly ball to right field in the top of the 6th, and it's 8-5 Mets. And then in the bottom of the 6th, J.D. Martinez hit a 2-run home run, his 5th of the season, on a fly ball to right fielder Brandon Nimmo. To right field, Brandon Nimmo scored, and it's 10-5 Mets. Then in the bottom of the 9th, Jock Peterson homered, his 7th of the season, on a fly ball to right field. Kevin Newman scores, Corbin Carroll scores, and it's 10-8 Mets. So that was a 3-run home run. And then Christian Walker hit a solo home run, his 11th of the season, on a fly ball to left field. 10-9. The Mets are victorious and have a stranglehold on this series. They lead the series 2-0 at this point. Corbin Carroll had 4 at-bats. He had 2 runs, 2 hits, no RBIs, 1 walk, no strikeouts, a .197 average, and a .573 OPS. Ketel Marte had 3 at-bats. He had 2 runs, 1 hit, no RBIs, 1 walk, no strikeouts, a .265 average, and a .792 OPS. Jock Peterson had 4 at-bats. He had 2 runs, 2 hits, 4 RBIs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, has a .308 average and a .952 OPS. Christian Walker had 5 at-bats. He had 1 run, 1 hit, 1 RBI, no walks, 2 strikeouts, a .262 average, and a .820 OPS. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. had 5 at-bats. He had no runs, 1 hit, 2 RBIs, no walks, 1 strikeout, a .236 average, and a .642 OPS. Jake McCarthy, 3 at-bats. No runs, no hits, 1 RBI, 1 walk, no strikeouts, a .274 average, and a .733 OPS. Gabriel Moreno had 4 at-bats. He had no runs, no hits, no RBIs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, a .230 average, and a .632 OPS. Hello, Newman. Kevin Newman had 4 at-bats. He had 1 run, 1 hit, no RBIs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, a .250 average, and a .659 OPS. The Arizona Diamondbacks had 36 at-bats. They had 9 runs, 9 hits, 9 RBIs, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. They only used 2 pitchers in this game. Jordan Montgomery went 4 innings, allowed 9 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, no home runs, has a 5.48 ERA. And Logan Allen went 4 innings, allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 1 home run, and has a 4.13 ERA. The Diamondbacks pitched 8 innings, had 14 hits, allowed 14 hits, 10 runs, 8 earned runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, 1 home run. So the Diamondbacks lose game 2 again by 1 run, 10-9. And then game 3, where the Diamondbacks win 10-5. They win that one by 5 runs over the New York Mets. Kevin Ginkel got the win. He's 3-1 with a 4.09 ERA. And Sean Manaea, I believe, got the losses. He's 3-2 with a 3.63 ERA. So the Diamondbacks had 10 runs on 11 hits, no errors. The Mets 5 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. The Diamondbacks scored 4 in the third, 2 in the sixth, 2 in the seventh, 2 in the eighth. The Mets scored 1 in the fifth and 4 in the ninth to make it a 10-5 ball game. But it wasn't enough. In the top of the third, Christian Walker hit a grand slam, his 12th of the season, to left field. Jake McCarthy scored, Kevin Newman scored, Randall Grichuk scored, and it's 4-1 Diamondbacks. Then in the bottom of the fifth, Mark Vientos homered, his 4th of the season, on a fly ball to left center field, and it's 4-1 Diamondbacks. Then in the top of the sixth, Blaze Alexander singles on a ground ball to right fielder Starling Marte. Gabriel Moreno scores, and it's 5-1 Diamondbacks. Wild pitch by pitcher Josh Walker. Blaze Alexander scores, throwing error by catcher Tomas Nido, and it's 6-1 Diamondbacks. Then in the top of the seventh, Randall Grichuk, an RBI single on a line drive to center fielder Harrison Bader. Kevin Newman scored, Corbin Carroll to third, and it's 7-1 Diamondbacks. Eugenio Suarez, a sacrifice fly for the RBI to right fielder Starling Marte. Corbin Carroll scored, and it's 8-1 Diamondbacks. Corbin Carroll singles on a ground ball to center fielder Harrison Bader. Blaze Alexander scored, Jake McCarthy scored, and this was in the top of the eighth, and it's 10-1 Diamondbacks. And then in the bottom of the ninth, Thomas Nido grounded out to second baseman Blaze Alexander. To pitcher Brandon Hughes, Mark Vientos scored, Harrison Bader to third, and it's 10-2 Diamondbacks. Jose Iglesias singled on a ground ball to third baseman Eugenio Suarez. Harrison Bader scored, and it's 10-3. And then Pete Alonso hit a 2-run home run, his 13th of the season, on a fly ball to left center field. Jose Iglesias scored, and 10-5. The Diamondbacks pick up their first win in this series by winning Game 3, 10-5. Ketel Marte had 4 at-bats. He had no runs, no hits, no RBIs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, has a .261 average and a .781 OPS. Corbin Carroll had 5 at-bats. He had 1 run, 1 hit, 2 RBIs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, a .197 average, and a .569 OPS. Randall Grichuk had 3 at-bats. He had 1 run, 2 hits, 1 RBI, 2 walks, no strikeouts, has a .286 average, and a .726 OPS. Christian Walker had 4 at-bats. He had 1 run, 1 hit, 4 RBIs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, a .262 average, and a .831 OPS. Eugenio Suarez had 4 at-bats. He had no runs, no hits, 1 RBI, no walks, 1 strikeout, has a .207 average, and a .584 OPS. Gabriel Moreno had 5 at-bats. He had 1 run, 1 hit, no RBIs, no walks, 1 strikeout, a .229 average, and a .632 OPS. Blaze Alexander had 5 at-bats. He had 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 RBI, no walks, 2 strikeouts, a .269 average, and a .743 OPS. Jake McCarthy had 4 at-bats. He had 2 runs, 2 hits, no RBIs, no walks, 1 strikeout, a .281 average, and a .741 OPS. Kevin Newman had 3 at-bats. He had 2 runs, 2 hits, no RBIs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, has a .260 average, and a .679 OPS. And the Diamondbacks had 37 at-bats. They had 10 runs, 11 hits, 9 RBIs, 5 walks, 13 strikeouts. Slade Ciccone went 4 and 2/3, allowed 5 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, no walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 home run, and has a 5.59 ERA. Kevin Ginkel, who gets the win, he went 1 inning, allowed no hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, no strikeouts, no home runs, and has a 4.09 ERA. Bryce Jarvis went 1 1/3, allowed 1 hit, no runs, no earned runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts, no home runs, and has a 3.38 ERA. And then Hughes went 1 2/3, allowed 6 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts, 1 home run, and has a 9.35 ERA. Paul Sewald went 1/3 of an inning, allowed no hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, no strikeouts, no home runs, and has a 1.23 ERA. The Diamondbacks pitched 9 innings, allowed 12 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 2 home runs. 10-5, the Diamondbacks are your winners in Game 3. And then Game 4, which was yesterday. They had to come from behind, but they do win 5-4. They scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second. The Mets scored 4 in the third, and the Diamondbacks scored 2 in the ninth to win 5-4. The Diamondbacks had 5 runs on 9 hits, no errors. The Mets 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Justin Martinez gets the win. He's 2-0 with a 0.44 ERA. Jake Diekman takes the loss. He's 1-2 with a 4.26 ERA. And Paul Sewald gets the save, his 5th save of the year, and he's got a 1.08 ERA. In the top of the first, Ketel Marte hit a solo home run, his 11th of the season, on a fly ball to center fielder, and it's 1-0 Diamondbacks. And then Lourdes Gurriel Jr., a couple batters later, homered, his 7th of the season on a fly ball to left field, and it's 2-0 Diamondbacks. Then in the bottom of the third, Brandon Nimmo tripled, his 2nd of the season, on a line drive to center fielder Corbin Carroll. Luis Torrens scored, Pete Alonso scored, and it's a 3-3 ball game. J.D. Martinez tripled his 1st of the season on a sharp fly ball to left fielder Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Brandon Nimmo scored. It's 4-3 Mets. Then in the top of the third, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. flied out to center. Still 4-3, and then Ketel Marte hits a 2-run home run, his 12th of the season, his 2nd home run of the game, on a fly ball to center field. Gabriel Moreno scored. 5-4. The Diamondbacks win and split this series 2 games apiece with the Smets. Ketel Marte had 3 at-bats. He had 2 runs, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, 1 walk, no strikeouts, a .270 average, and a .832 OPS. Corbin Carroll had 4 at-bats. He had no runs, no hits, no RBIs, 1 walk, no strikeouts, a .194 average, and a .563 OPS. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. had 5 at-bats. He had 1 run, 1 hit, 1 RBI, no walks, 2 strikeouts, a .235 average, and a .651 OPS. Christian Walker had 5 at-bats. He had no runs, 1 hit, no RBIs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, a .260 average, and a .822 OPS. Randall Grichuk had 2 at-bats. He had no runs, 1 hit, no RBIs, no walks, no strikeouts, a .291 average, and a .751 OPS. Jake McCarthy had 2 at-bats. He had no runs, no hits, no RBIs, no walks, 1 strikeout, a .276 average, and a .730 OPS. Eugenio Suarez had 2 at-bats. He had one run, no hits, no RBIs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, a .205 average, and a .582 OPS. Jock Peterson had 1 at-bat. He had no runs, no hits, no RBIs, no walks, 1 strikeout, a .305 average, and a .946 OPS. Blaze Alexander had 4 at-bats. He had no runs, 1 hit, no RBIs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, a .269 average, and a .743 OPS. Kevin Newman had 4 at-bats. He had no runs, 1 hit, 1 RBI, no walks, 2 strikeouts, a .259 average, and a .674 OPS. And then Tucker Barnhart Had 3 at-bats. He had no runs, no hits, no RBIs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, a .154 average, and a .494 OPS. Gabriel Moreno had 1 at-bat. He had 1 hit, 1 run, 1 hit, no RBIs, no walks, no strikeouts, a .234 average, and a .647 OPS. The Diamondbacks had 36 at-bats. They had 5 runs, 9 hits, 5 RBIs, 3 walks, 13 strikeouts. Diamondbacks pitcher Brandon Pfaadt pitched very solid, I thought, in a no decision, and I feel bad for Brandon Pfaadt because that was probably the best game he's pitched, in a long time. Brandon Pfaadt went 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, no home runs, and has a 4.32 ERA. Justin Martinez, who gets the win, went 2 innings, allowed no hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts, no home runs, and has a 0.44 ERA. And then Paul Sewald, who gets the save, his 5th, went 1 inning, allowed no hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, 1 strikeout, no home runs, and has a 1.08 ERA. So, that was your recap of the Arizona Diamondbacks and New York Mets series. And tonight, Game 1 against the San Francisco Giants in San Francisco. Ryan Nelson will be on the mound for the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Mets don't have a pitcher, or the Giants, I'm sorry. The Giants don't have a pitcher listed yet. And the lineups are not out yet. So, but guys, comment in the comment section below on what you think. And as always, if you like my videos, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss a video. Stay tuned for my San Francisco Giants at Arizona Diamondbacks Game 1 preview. And as always, go Diamondbacks. Let's beat the Giants and let's win this series.